All right, I believe we're recording. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick little training on just how to use the home site provided DeltaNet website management system. And so as we've been doing a bunch of different trainings throughout Hometown, I've just been excited or most interested in like those super practical things to do to enhance your real estate business. So this will definitely be more instructional of like, okay, here's something you can use. And so basically I want to talk about in terms of the website, what is it? Why would you want it? And then how to use it, and then have some time for some questions. And so first and foremost, what is it? So Hometown offers two different website abilities. Hicks, I think, emailed out everybody, but the first is just a simple business card site. And so he gave an example of that. It says Mike Clements is just a business card. And so the other big advantage of having anything is, if you go to hometownrealtyservices.com and you want to search for an agent, so this is Hometown's main website. If you want to find an agent and you want to find an agent in the Mechanicsville office, these are the folks who are paying for the DeltaNet website. So if you're not paying for the DeltaNet website, in essence, you're not here. So these are the folks here. So there's Mike Clements. If you click on Mike Clements, he's just a business card site. That's $8 a month. If you pay, what is it, $35 a month, you get a full-blown website. So this is Wanda Garrett's. So full-blown website. And then I'll quickly kind of show you the difference before we get into the actual how-tos of, this is Wanda's website. I would imagine she just had John Hicks set this up, and that's it. So it's kind of a set and forget, which is kind of nice, versus this is my website. I've customized it and made small little tweaks. Still, for the most part, for me, it's set it and forget it. I don't really go in here all that often and make changes. So, but you can tell there's a little bit of a difference, and I'll show you kind of some of those different tweaks. So that's one, is it $8 a month for this, $35 a month for this, and then you get all sorts of functionality. That's opposed to, I have a team website. So I paid somebody outside of DeltaNet to make this website. It cost me right at about $3,000 and about $700 a year to maintain it. And it's a little bit cooler, but it doesn't have the ability to search for homes. That cost, I guess, DeltaNet or Hometown pretty big money to add in what they call an IDX plugin. So that's a whole nother kind of conversation. So $35 a month is way better than spending thousands of dollars to, like I said in my email, recreate the wheel. So, I mean, it's cool and all, but there's still just as much functionality kind of within the cheaper one. So that's what is it, or what not, or what is it, what it is. So that what it is. Why you would want it? You'd want a website because it's going to generate thousands of leads for you. No, just joking. Your website's not probably going to generate many leads or any leads really at all for you. At least I haven't found people just constantly Googling TommySibiga.com and saying that's the website, that's the guy who I want to give my business to. However, I have found tons of clients who, before I meet with them on the first time, they've already researched me. So they've looked at my website, they've looked at my Facebook page, like they know how old my kids are, like they have found out information about me and have essentially made sure that I'm a legitimate person, that I'm a legitimate real estate agent, and have already somewhat soft tested me to see if I'm any good at what I do. And so that would be the biggest reason why I would suggest or say you should have a website, is just for validation, something for folks to be able to stumble upon you or look you up and see how professional you are. And so, like, if somebody were looking at my website compared to this, it's going to separate me. Or if they're going to look at my website compared to this, I don't know, it could go either way. If it's an old WordPress or like a MySpace site from years ago, oops, then let me see. I hate to pick on somebody, but I might have to pick on somebody. Let's see. I haven't looked at people's websites, but let's just look at Jason's. So he's got a little bit of an old template. So I'm going to send this recording to Jason and show him how he should update his template just to something a little bit more modern. I would say, perusing other websites that might be a little bit more on the dated side, but still, he's got a website versus somebody who doesn't have a website. Let's see. Ooh, I'll pick on Matt. Oh, he's got a good one. What do you know? Let's see if there's any other kind of old style ones. Page not found, so we need to get that one fixed. So anyways, those are the differences. Why you'd want it is just for validation, and so for folks who are looking you up, that they can see that you're a legitimate person. So now we're going to get into the actual practical stuff, how to use it. So I forget the steps for like initial creation, but I think it's just a matter of reaching out to John Hicks, and he'll create a website for you. Actually, I think I might be able to find out what probably what I could do is go back to that Hometown Realty site. So I got a custom domain. I'm going to talk about that. I just bought TommySibiga.com, and that's the domain name that I put on, marketing and have on all my social media stuff. But I think technically it still shows up as Tommy Sibiga. I think technically it'd be like Sibiga/Hometown Realty Services .com or
oh, sorry, I was going to ask you, how much is that custom domain? Are you paying that on a monthly basis, or is it how's that work?
Yeah, so that was one of the notes I skipped over. I just use GoDaddy. URL names are like $18 a year, super cheap. So I definitely would get a .com. I wouldn't get a .org or .net. Just doesn't make you look as legitimate or professional. You can't use realtor in it. That's a trademark name, so you'll learn the hard way, or at least I got flagged when I created a URL that had realtor in it. It's a trademark name. You're not allowed to use that. But once you have it set up, and John Hicks can set you up with that, I usually just go to my own page and I go to this down here, agents login. So this gets you into the back end of DeltaNet. So this is where you really don't need to recreate the wheel. DeltaNet already has all the back end framework for you to fairly easily customize and make it your own. So I'm gonna go over some of the basics that I would say everybody should do, and you don't have to be all that tech savvy to accomplish. It's very kind of fill in the blank type of stuff. So this is the whole back end of DeltaNet. What I would say is the bare minimum is you should start with site design. So if you go down to website, because that's what we're talking about, it's the website, you got a couple of different options here. I would go to site design. And this is, you already have great looking templates available. So that's where, I'm going to let Jason know, hey, they've got new, more modern templates available. All you should do is just click the button and you're good. So I'm actually going to change mine because there is a newer one that I think is pretty cool. So going back right now, I've got this one, kind of nice. It's find a home, sell a home. I definitely like that because I want very quickly for buyers or sellers to navigate quickly. That's a good little trick. So I actually am really liking this one, this move in the right direction. But you can see there's several different templates to choose from. I don't think you need to go into the expense or the high tech realm of trying to customize your own template. I mean, these all look good. So I'm liking this one. So I'm gonna hit preview theme. Let's see, I'm using Google Chrome, so apparently it doesn't like that, but I'll preview it. So I think I'm going to change mine to this one because I kind of like the look of it. So I can kind of preview the template before I decide on it. So I actually like that one. And so now I'm going to just hit set live. And so I think that just changed the whole kind of style of my website. Let me check. A lot of times you can just hit a preview button, but a lot of times I'm just kind of cross-checking changes that I've made. So yeah, there you go. I've got a new website in essence. All of my other stuff still stays the same, and I'll show you that the next. But I think that's pretty snazzy, and it's a little bit more in line with my team site, because I got the buying, the selling, so that's a little bit more in line with my team site. So that's kind of cool looking. So that's the first and foremost, is set your site design. So that's what I just did. I went to website, went to site design, I previewed a theme, and then I set it live. So that's a bare minimum. Create a cool looking theme, and DeltaNet's already done it for you. Next bare minimum is to go over, again, back to website and then go to overviews. Some of this stuff is going to be locked out and only web administrators can do, but a lot of it you can do yourself. And so, you fill in your name and fill in how you want your name displayed. You can change that little profile picture. So I actually just changed that today in preparation for this. You can change this. So you have your email address and link type display contact us link. So, you can play around with that. Most of these blocks, just to give you a tip, you need to hit the update button per block that you change. So if you're updating the photo, then you're going to hit update. If you're updating this, then hit update. If you're changing this, then hit update. So there's that stuff. You can do system notifications. You can do your date of birth. You can do your address and language, phone number. This stuff you can't change with the big red blocks. You can put your phone number on there, or you could do your work phone number on there. You can do some designations here. When I found out about that, when I was testing it out, it doesn't show on this one. On my other team, on the other template, it then made this say Tommy Sibiga, associate broker. And that was by making this change here. I've got my little slogan, I'm here to serve, so you can add something there. See how that shows up. That might not show up on this template, but it showed up on my other template. The big things I wanted to show you are down towards the bottom. So you're going to want to add your MLS ID number, and that's for featured listings. So CVR MLS is the only MLS I'm a part of. There's my MLS number. Add all my social media stuff in. So I've got all the different links to the different social media items that I want highlighted. And usually somewhere in this template, oh yeah, here it is. Here's your buttons for all those social media links from right here. So you're going to update all that. Bullet points I haven't really messed around with. I have messed around with external links. And so I put my my team's website, a personal blog that my wife and I had. I put Town First Mortgage in there. I put essentially a ministry that I used to work at and now the committee chair for, and I've got my B&I group. And then this one's kind of key, I think, doing your paragraph that's about you. So this is all just essentially a Word document. So you want to give a good bio for yourself. And so that's all this part. So that's the big difference between kind of Wanda and myself. She doesn't have anything talking about her. And most folks, if they're looking at your website to validate who you are, that's where they're going to look. They kind of want the about me section. So I think that's real important. So you want to have a good little blurb here. And the nice thing is once you have that created in one area, you can then copy and paste it to other profiles. So that's basically all the overviews part. And so I mean, you could kind of go through some of these things and tweak them and then update them and then just go back to your website and see how things change. But it's basically this front page, this home page of your website. So again, bare minimum, site design and website overviews. If you do nothing else, I would at least do that. Takes 30 minutes really. Shouldn't take too long. Now to do a little bit more with it, and I'm not even gonna get into all the real high techy stuff because I don't deal with it. I'm just kind of covering some of the basics just to make your site look a little bit better. Is over here at pages. So this is going to be all of your pages other than just TommySibiga.com. It's going to be all of these links up here. I've got a bunch of blogs, calculators, videos, testimonials. It's all the stuff up there. It's all the stuff down at the bottom. So that's going to be found in pages. So again, DeltaNet, this is the back end. You go to website and then you go down to pages. So these are all of my current pages. And what I'll show you first is the navigation menu, because even when you start from scratch, like Wanda's, it already has, this is all pre-populated. So you don't have to do anything about this. This is all just here. So if you're not all that high tech, you could at least kind of shuffle this around in an order that you like, and that would be found. These are current pages. Down below that, navigation menu. So this is all corresponding to those top menu marks. You've got the home, contact me, property search, blogs.com. Sorry, I'm gonna go home, contact me, property search, blog at homes.com. That's all this stuff. And so these are all kind of drag and drop. So I can just drag these pages into the menu that I want, and then it creates the separate drop down menus. And so you can even have drop down menus inside drop down menus like this. So I created this all about blogs. Here's first time home buying. Here's a bunch of articles I wrote about first time home buying, a bunch of that. So that's all this stuff. So you could just fiddle around with that and make it the way you want it. Now, web pages come over here based off of how they're saved kind of up here. So what I'll show you is, in essence, how to create a new page. Let's see, there's 3 different ways you can add a new page. So if you just hit new page, up here, you can have a custom page, which is you're creating all the content from scratch, which isn't as intimidating as it might sound. You can have a predefined page, which is something that DeltaNet already has established, and you just kind of pick it out. Or you can just basically link to another website or a different page. So I'll show you an example of that. An example of that would be customer reviews. If you click on my customer reviews, actually, maybe not, maybe testimonials. Yeah, testimonials for me, I just externally link that straight over to Zillow. So we're no longer at TommySibiga.com, we're at Zillow. So that would be like an external link. Another external one is this one I know I have set up as external. Again, just sends them over to kind of my Zillow active listings. So those are the 3 different ways you can add pages. External, you would literally just kind of create a title. And so like I did, I basically called it active listings. And then I did this, well, yeah, I did the link from Zillow. So I did this and put it in there. And then the big key in all these pages, if you want them on that menu, is to either click here, navigation menu, or to click bottom links, depending on which. Most of what I do is just on the top navigation menu. So that'd be all this stuff. So if I want to create that page, I'll call this active listings 2, and I'll show you how that works, but let's call this active listings 2. I'm going to delete this as soon as we're over, but active listings 2. Would you like this link to be surrounded by your agent template? No, I'm just going to shoot it. I'm going to do this one. Would you like this link to open in a new window? Yes. And then I'm going to hit update page. So because I checked this box, navigation menu, now I'm going to find it under navigation menu, and it's going to be at the bottom usually. Active listings 2. Now I can drag it wherever I want. So just for fun, I'll show you. I'm going to put it under the calculators menu, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to have to refresh my website to show you. Now it's over here under calculators, active listings. If I wanted it separate, like its own little menu, I just drag it like that. I hit save, and now you'll see it's a separate thing up at the top menu. If I wanted it, you know, within a thing, or let's see, within a menu, within a menu, within a menu, you know, you're probably getting the point. You just drag it over here. So that's how you shuffle the order. Now, if I want to go back into active listings 2, I think I had it's right here. So this is back to my current pages. I would click on here, and I would make a change. So for me, I don't need that, so I'm actually going to delete that page. So that's an external website. Predefined. This is what's cool with DeltaNet is look at all these things they already have. So you've got all these websites already that DeltaNet has created for you. I don't even know what they are. I've never messed with them. I've got a few of them on my sites, but let's see. I don't know what Just for Kids is. So I'm gonna title this Just for Kids. I'll put it up in my navigation menu because I'm interested to see what it looks like. Update page. I'll go back down to navigation menu. Down here at the bottom. So sure, I'll leave it there because then it'll be one of my top menu items. So let's just see what that predefined page looks like from DeltaNet. All right, here it is. Ah, cool. Just for Kids, explore this fun list of websites for kids, see photographs. All right, cool. So I just created that in 5 seconds because DeltaNet already had it. So great, like now they can play all sorts of games. So see what else they can do. Games, yeah, see if we can play solitaire. No solitaire, but we can play Monopoly. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, that's a predefined page. You can experiment with that and see what you like. And then again, you'd find it back up here under your current pages if you don't like it. See, Just for Kids. Oh, also see this letter here is, I think, top and bottom. So I'm going to delete this page. I don't want it. That made me think of one other thing I wanted to show you. Oh, sometimes you might want to have a website or a page to your website that's not really discoverable, and you only want people to find it by typing the direct web link. So I've done that before with featured listings. And so this was, let's see what I did here. So this was a custom page, and I made page viewable only. So I don't want that anymore. I don't like that. So you can make it only viewable to folks who have subscribed, which I wouldn't recommend because nobody wants to type in their email address and get, volunteer your information. So this is just a public page. But then I would do kind of one listing at a time, and you can't really find it on my site anywhere. It's not going to be here. It's not going to be down at my bottom. It's, in essence, private. And so I called it featured. And then what I did here was my page URL. You can create whatever name you want for your URL on any page. So I call this one featured. So then what happens is if somebody wants to see my featured website, TommySibiga.com/featured. This is where I used to make people sign in for it. So, you know what happened is I didn't update that change. So now I took that setting off. So now when I refresh, it just takes them to the featured site. So that's that one. So you can, so that kind of hints on if you want to create a new page that was custom, you just go custom, and then you've got to create all the content. So it's pretty much like typing in an email. You can get creative with this, would add a picture in, and so then you'd have to upload a picture. I've already got some photos uploaded, but if you wanted to get something from your database, you would upload that. Let's see if it should show up already checked, I would think, but let me just hit insert. That's a little bit too big. I usually go 700 in constrained proportions. So that's how you add a picture. You can change your formatting on the text. You can insert links. That's going to be a little bit more, I don't know, graphic design or just general kind of knowledge of how to format and create either emails or website stuff. So I'm not going to get too much into detail, but that's how you would create a custom page. And then you would type whatever it is you want underneath of it. So a good chunk of mine are custom pages. A good chunk are just links to external stuff. So this is a custom page I did, but all I really did was add an image. So that was easy. Let me see if there's other ones I can think of that were custom pages. Irisdale was an old, so I used to do this on all my listings. I don't really mess around with it anymore, but that's just type, add in the picture that I created, add in a link, copy and paste from my MLS, add a link, create this on basically Google Drive, typed in this stuff. So, and then I did, I made this URL, Irisdale. So again, same thing. I used to do this for every single listing. So then this is what that looks like on my website. And then you can click on a couple places to get to the listing. All right, so that's different web pages. The other thing I'll show you is listing display. So what this is right here, featured listings. You can change some of these settings. So that's going to be back at the main dashboard. You go to website, and then you go down to listing display. And there's a couple different settings you can change here. One is you can put your favorite Town First mortgage lender right here, and that'll link on featured listings. So you can send some business to your loan officer that way. But then you'll want, this is all about featured listings. So first thing you might want to look at is your feature type. I have all company listings. So you can do only your listings, my listings and company listings if necessary, my listings and office listings if necessary, all office listings. So those are all your options. I usually do all company listings because there's another setting further down that'll kind of spotlight my own personal ones. I put in all my markets that I want to show on my main page. So you would just hit add another market. Let's see, I wonder if Mechanicsville. Yeah, it is an option. So go all Mechanicsville, see what happens. All right, so that's that. Status, active, contingent, or pending. This is what's kind of a cool one, is price range. You might not want to have featured listings at the $50,000 mark. You might not want to have listings that are over $1 million because you just don't feel comfortable showing that type of product. And so you can adjust your price range to reflect what's going to show up here. And then the other important thing is this property category. I would do residential unless you're a commercial guy, but most everybody's gonna be residential. And then the other thing that I would do is, let's see where that checkbox is. All this stuff's pretty standard. This one, featured type, my listings if I have any, and then company listings when I do not. So if you have a good amount of listings, you might want to do this one. If you don't have any listings, you might want to do all company listings. So that would probably be my recommendation there. So that's all for the featured listing. And then I just have one other thing I want to show you, and then I can take some questions, and then I've got some bonus information. The other thing is going to be about domains. So if, again, you go back to the main site, website, and go to domains. If you purchase a domain name from GoDaddy, or I think Bluehost is another one, there's a couple different places you can buy. It costs about $20 a year. So here's mine, $20 a year. All you really have to do, if I remember correctly, is set up new domain, and you just put your domain name in and then submit. So then if anybody types in any of these email addresses, it'll go to my website. And then you can set it as primary. So Tommy Sibiga is the primary. So even if you type this address in, it's going to go to my website. It should, but yeah, so it goes to my website, but it displays TommySibiga.com. Even if you go to, well, that's an old one. I don't pay for that one anymore. Even if you go to this website, same thing, shows up as my TommySibiga.com, because I have Tommy Sibiga as the primary, and I added that domain, and I own that domain through GoDaddy. So that's all kind of my big notes. Are there any questions?
Hey, Tommy, this is Liz.
Yes.
When
Hey,
you're
Liz.
posting open houses, right, for other agents, right? There's an open house section on my website. How do you know how to, do you just, I guess there was an open house section, and maybe I just need to explore it a little bit more, but how do you show the open house that you're hosting that another agent's listing? Does that make sense?
So yes, it does make sense. So that was going to be my bonus material, is within the DeltaNet section, that there are some marketing flyer opportunities.
Okay.
And so for that, the way that I do it, and so we'll kind of dabble with this together and see if you can do it for somebody else's listings. The way I've always done that is just for my own stuff. So if you go to listings and then you go to active listings, I have all of my active listings. And so then you go to tools, and you can either create an e-card or a print flyer. And so I actually had an example of that. So this is the e-card I created for myself. So pretty easily, actually, I'll show you how to do it. So let's just hit send e-card. Again, super cool templates already ready to roll. So you can just pick one that you like. I forget which one I picked, but this is the e-card. You can swap the photo out because it's, it's my own listing, so it's already pulled my data. It's already pulled this, but I can edit it. It's already pulled this, but I can edit it. Very, very quick. And then you just send e-card, and you can send it to individual emails. If you want to get real intense, you could upload your database in here, but I would actually recommend just send it to yourself, and then once you have it yourself, just forward it from there to somebody else. But this is what it looks like. So pretty cool looking email, and it could really only take a couple minutes to do. You can also create a flyer. So this is a print flyer. So I did the same thing. Did the same thing before, but instead of doing, let me go back to listings, active listings, tools, create a print flyer. Again, lots of cool templates. And you can just pick one. Please like 2 listings. I don't like that one. I don't need bunnies anyways. So again, you can quickly edit, and that gives you a nice print flyer that you can print off for your open houses. So that's how I would do it for my own listings. Let's see about not your own listing. Let's see, listings. Where have you found it? You've already tooled around with DeltaNet, I'm assuming?
Haven't. I know on my site that there's a section that says open houses, and then I think it was seeing Neely's offer to host an open house where she was like, I'll post it on my website. I'm like, that's something I haven't done before. Wonder how you do that. I can play around though.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it for you. So this is, I just hit that open house thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is where I could put the time, but it doesn't really change who's going to host it. So I'm sure it's going to use my mugshot.
Right.
Let's say I want it one from Sunday 1 to 3. Oh, wait, you could put this agent. So.
You did it under that active listing, right? You went to that.
Yeah, I did it on my side. Well, I don't know if I want to hit the button because I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, wait, here's hosting agent though. Oh, maybe that pulls from there.
Okay. And I'll ask Neely too. I'll share with you what I learned.
Mm-hmm. So, other questions? Sorry if I'm not super helpful on that one.
No. What this tells me too is get in there and just play. There's a lot more that can be done on the website than I've done. So.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody were hosting an open house for me, probably very easily I would print this out and then just tell them to like staple their business card over this part. Any other questions? If not, I'll probably wrap some things up. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff to play around with, but I'll tell you this is a whole lot easier to play around with than my team website, which is hosted using WordPress, and WordPress is pretty user friendly, but even then, a lot of stuff goes over my head. There's weird security stuff that can be complicated and updates that have to be applied. The beauty in this is DeltaNet does that stuff for us. It's one of the perks of already being at Hometown Realty. So there's a lot of kind of easy to use. I don't really have to be mindful of it. The only thing I really have to do is make sure that I keep paying GoDaddy for my URL name. But even if I didn't do that, I would still, you know, the website would still live on because this is what's included with the DeltaNet. I just think this looks better than this. So good deal. Well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to wrap some things up. I'm teaching a class next week, same time, 1 o'clock. That is going to be exclusively kind of how to ratify contracts just using your iPhone. I always find it interesting when agents tell me, you know, it's going to take them a couple of days or, you know, a couple of hours to get something ratified when you can literally do it from your phone in under 5 minutes. And so I'm going to show you that, show you how you can impress other agents, how to impress your clients by getting stuff signed and ratified, you know, very, very quickly. So that'll be all about using your iPhone to load up signatures on AuthentiSign and whatnot. So thanks for checking in, and we will talk to you soon. Let me know if there's anything I can do to be of assistance.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.